Hey everyone, welcome to our second stream of the evening. We're with Hybrid Racing from the one with round 2 of the season. We're at Canada. Hey Gunnar, nice to see you, man. Just make yourself a quick coffee and then I'm going to invite the guys in for a quick interview. So, how's it going to go tonight then? So, if you remember from last week, we had a new driver, Declan Madsen, that came in and won at Australia with that brilliant fight back, chasing Daguna down on the last lap and getting past him. To be fair to Daguna, not a lot he could do with Madsden. Not just an extremely quick driver, but on fresh softs as well, made it basically impossible for him to sort of hold him off, really. But still a great start to the season for Daguna P2. And champion Massey in P4. I've forgotten off the top of my head who's P3. I do apologise. I'm not at my Xbox or phone at the moment, just making coffee, so I may as well leave that. It's going to let the kettle boil. You know, expect a bad one from... What? Expect a bad one from Link deleted it here. Are you trying to confuse me? It's working. Right, a monster is one of the ones who are fighting in, and Bowden. So they are with Red Bull. So I'm going to do those monsters and Bowden. Hopefully this week it'll work a bit better. Why did it delete? It's a bad one from me. I don't know what deleted, mate. I think you're losing it to Gunnar. Finish my coffee as the boys are joining. And, right, lads, you both hear me? Yeah. Right. Had a bit of problem last week when trying to do the interview with them cutting out a little bit, and I didn't sound great then to start. So let's hope it works anyway. I've just got to give me a moment. Manage stream and. Right, okay, I've just allowed the party audio, so you just need to include your party audio, okay? There we go. Right, guys, okay. Right, first of all, the serious stuff. So you're driving Red Bull this season, teammates at Red Bull.
Yeah.
Have you been teammates before at all elsewhere, or is this first time working together?
No.
No. First time.
First time, okay. Is that Bristol accent?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm Bristol too.
Mm.
That's all right. Bristol rocks.
Yeah.
We spot each other anywhere. Right. Yeah. So you're driving Red Bull this season. I'm just taking a quick look from season 2. Red Bull didn't have a bad season. They finished second. So is that something you think you can emulate, or even go one better than this season between you?
Probably one better, I guess.
Yeah, can all
Yeah.
help.
Yeah, that's what we like to hear. So a bit of confidence and yeah, and what about individuals? So monsters. As an individual, then, what's your sort of and being honest, what's your sort of target in terms of drivers' championship? Where do you think is a realistic target for you?
Not really sure where. I'd just say just hope for the best this season. Get as high as I can.
Yeah, well, you certainly showed last season, and I raced with you a bit on the Mondays as well. That you've definitely got pace. There's no doubt about that. You've got the pace to be up there somewhere. It's it's bringing that pace through on a regular basis, isn't it? Do you think that you can do that? Do you think you could be up there challenging maybe podiums on a regular basis?
I'm not sure about a podium, but I think maybe over time I could. I think I'll just improve over time.
Okay, and yourself, Bowden?
I'm aiming for like top 5, I guess.
Yeah.
And if I can get in top 3, that'd be brilliant.
Okay, and it's very much the same with you last season. I raced with you, Baden.
Or,
Yeah.
mm,
So I think you're capable of that, and yeah, it'd be good to see. And now I know you're Bristolian as well. That's just like I'm going to be your number one fan as well. So, you know, there we go.
yeah.
Oh, I've just been kicked out of the lobby. Um, right, guys, that's all the serious stuff because we're right at the start of the season, so it's really
Mm.
there's not a lot to talk about at this point. Just getting really what your expectations are. So, what we're going to do now, and I don't know if you listened to the interview last week that I did, although you couldn't really hear them with Fatal and Massey, but we played a little game.
Yeah.
So we're going to pit the two of you against each other here. Okay, so what it is basically it's best of three. Okay,
Mm.
and Bowden, I'm going to ask you to choose head or tails, and I'm going to flip a coin. So, right, heads or tails.
Bobby heads.
Okay, it's tails. So,
Oh,
monsters,
damn it.
it's up to you. Do you want to go first or second?
I go second.
Okay, so I'm gonna ask you. I'm gonna name a driver. Okay, and what you got
Yeah.
to do is you got to be as close as you can in telling me how many podiums they had in their careers. Okay, and it could be a current driver or it could be a long retired driver. Okay, so
Damn. Alright.
we'll see how you go. The first one then is the oldest of the three drivers. So I'm going to go with James Hunt first.
Ooh.
So very, very
Nice.
good driver,
Mm.
world champion.
Yeah. I guess it's got to be like, I don't know, around 63, I guess.
63.
Yeah.
Okay, that's your guess. And where would you like to go, monsters?
I'd say around 30 to 40.
30 to 40. So, um, okay, so obviously you've got to choose an actual number. So,
Okay.
say
Go 35.
35, go right in the middle. That makes sense. I could say it's not as many as you'd think. It's 23. So the point,
23.
yeah, the
Wow.
point definitely goes there to Monsters. So it's 1-0 to Monsters. Yeah, so 23 podiums for James Hunt, despite being a world champion. And that has him, 23 podiums, mine, has you in 47th in the all-time list. So not,
Wow.
it's not doing too bad. But yeah, I guess there was a lot less
No.
races back then as well, mine. So than they have today. So yeah, so that's James Hunt, the mighty James Hunt.
Yeah.
Okay, next driver is probably got my most favourite name I've ever heard in Formula One. Okay, so it's Heinz Harald Frentzen.
Heinz Harold Frenton.
Yeah,
I don't know, like, I'd say 7.
7. Okay.
Yeah.
We've gone the wrong way round, actually, aren't I? Sorry, Monsters, you were supposed to go first on this one.
Uh, I'd say 20.
20. So 7 and 20. Okay, and it's going to be a 2-0 lead for Monsters because you're really close, actually. It's 18. So,
Oh,
18.
Wow.
I think you might have a slight advantage. I don't know how old you are, Bowden, but you sound quite young, so I don't know if you were even born when these people were driving, to be fair.
Nope. I'm 13.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah, no, you wouldn't have been then. Oh my goodness, no, because I was a kid when Frentzen was driving. So, yeah. Okay, yeah, 18 has him 58th in the all-time list. So, and actually, this last driver, then I know it's 2-0, but we'll carry on and do the last one just for fun. So, let's go this time because we got it wrong on the last one. Monsters, if you go first on this one. Driving around a similar time to Frentzen, actually, would have been ex-McLaren and oh, hang on, actually, was he McLaren? I think I got that wrong. But ex-Ferrari driver. And it's Gerhard Berger.
is it me going first?
Yeah, Monsters, you go first on this one.
I'll say I'll go 25.
25. Okay, and what about you, Bowden?
20.
20.
Yeah.
Okay. Right, Gerhard Berger. This is going to surprise a few. Gerhard Berger achieved 48 podiums. So it's a 3-0 win for
Oh,
Monsters, but it's 48 podiums, which has him 18th in the all-time list, which is I
wow.
think that's even people that remember him, like myself. That shocked me actually when I saw that. I couldn't believe it was 48, because Ferrari weren't the force then. You know, it's before the Schumacher
Yeah.
times, so they weren't
Yeah.
you know, they were still the most well-known team, but they weren't a big force then when they had Berger
Mm.
and Jean Alesi, I think it was, driving from at the time. So, yeah, but yeah, incredible achievement for him. But you know, we did learn last week that Rubens Barrichello was ninth on the all-time list. So, you know, it's quite interesting. But there you
Mm.
go, guys. It's a bit of fun. It's a 3-0 win for Monsters,
Yeah.
but we'll see if Bowden gets his own back out on track. But where can we expect?
Yeah, don't worry.
Where
I'll try.
what about Canada, guys? Is it a good track for you?
No.
Alright, try.
It's all right for you, Bowden.
It's one of my worst tracks, I think.
It's one of your worst. It's one of my worst as well. I
Yeah.
have to say. It's I don't know about you. I'm a pad player, and I struggle
Yeah,
Mm.
I
this
am.
track because of that. So, yeah, yeah, I'm definitely not a fan. I do love commentating though, because it's usually a good, fun race. So,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, good luck to both of you. I hope you're
Yeah,
nice and
thanks.
high up, and we have started doing podium interviews as well at the end. So, never know. I might be speaking to one or both of you at the end. Hopefully,
Oof.
Yeah.
fingers crossed. And
Yeah.
yeah, but otherwise, all the best for the whole season, guys. And
Right, thank
you
you.
know, just mostly though, enjoy it. All right. Cheers, guys. Right, okay, guys. I hope you could hear everything and this time, and it all went well. It was definitely a better connection than last time. Seemed a bit iffy at the start, so it's weird just what happened at the end there, and I have been kicked out of the lobby again, which is annoying. Now, I've just done a comms for Wheelspin Racing, and I never got kicked out of the lobby once. It works absolutely fine. So I'm blaming the host. If it happens this time for this race, I am blaming the host. There we go. But no, I hope you guys enjoyed that, and I don't know any of you if any of you got pretty close or not. Whoopee, that is naughty, naughty, naughty. But no, Mike Hunt's was superb as well, of course. Always smelled a bit funny, but he was okay. Anyway, we are heading in then. So, reminder: short qualifying, 50% race. I'm enjoying doing these little quizzes with them. And I didn't. I must admit, I didn't know that Bowden was so young. So yeah, 13 years old. Fair play to him, and he's a brilliant driver. So what's happening here? What weird's happening? Why is the timer not up? I'm gonna leave and rejoin again. Something definitely strange going on there. We'll get there, guys. Don't worry, we will get there. Thanks to Gooner. I got a feeling that when I rejoined that last time, I rejoined just as they were loading in, and it didn't load me in properly. I think that's all that was. Thanks, Whoopee. Yeah, James. Yeah, 13. Fair play to him. Very good driver. But yeah, it's just made me realise that maybe I should watch my language a little bit in the Discord chat as well. We do get a bit silly in there sometimes, so it's there we go. Right then, so short qualifying 50% race of Canada. It's a 35 lap race. Nice and bright and sunny for qualifying at least. Canada does like a bit of rain, so we'll see if it stays the same for the actual race, but at least the quali is going to be dry. So first out on track is last week's race winner, Declan Madsen, who came in sort of last minute, joined the league, is still a reserve at the moment actually, but I'm kind of glad that he's got a seat again this week, because it looks like with his pace that he's going to be right up there fighting for the championship. So it's just whether he can get a race each week. That's going to be the problem until he gets a full-time seat, but hopefully that won't be too far off. Although of course that does mean we lose another driver, which is always sad. So full grid, full 20, which is awesome. Always like to see that. And here comes Declan in a way. I believe I did the hilly hop lap with him last week, so we won't do that just now. Let's take a look at what will be the first lap of qualifying. I said there, speaking to the guys, it's not a track I'm particularly fond of. It used to be my most hated track. I loathed it, absolutely loathed it. But that was mainly because I wasn't very good at it. So as I've gotten better, I've begun to like it a bit more. But I'm not keen on it. Very difficult to stay penalty free around here. That's one of the main things that you could take away. Not exactly sure why Declan's gone out on mediums. There's a few drivers going out on mediums, but with it being a short quali session, I'm not sure what the reason for that is. I'd rather keep a second fresh set for the race, to be quite honest, but perhaps other people think differently. Perhaps they'd rather have a scrub set available. To the final chicane, always very easy to invalidate your lap here, but Declan doesn't. And head to the line, and it's a 1 minute 10.7. That strikes me as being a very good opening lap, particularly on a set of mediums. That's lightning on a set of mediums. So, Massey goes 1:11.8, 1:10.8 from Massey on softs. Chris 1:12.1, and Ronaldo here is heading down the main straight. So when it comes to the race, this will be our best overtaking opportunity with DRS all the way down the straight. You then get DRS onto the pit straight as well, but Ronaldo invalidates his first run. So that's blooming chicane. There is a way of taking it, and I think we saw it from Declan, and it's such a tiny little thing, but it's about angling your car in a certain way, and those monsters then that we just spoke to. So the guys that we spoke to were the Red Bull guys. So that's the brake slightly into the second part of the chicane, which will affect his run into the line. 1:12.9, puts him in P7 for the moment, but clearly got more time in him. There's Whoopi. Oh! It's going to hit the wall there. So just ran out a bit wide. Let's move to... He's in the garage. Swigler invalidated his first run. He's going slow there. Keep going, letting the Ferrari pass. Anybody actually on a hot lap? Fatal. Heading down to the hairpin. Opens up the DRS, then heads down to the chicane, the famous Wall of Champions, of course. Wall of Champions so named because said that nobody ever won anything in Formula 1 without hitting that wall at some point in their career. I think there's some truth in that. If you don't hit that wall, it's like, who was it? Said is it Senna? I can't remember, but one of the drivers in a way, one of the greats, like Monaco, said, you know, if you don't hit the walls here, you're not trying hard enough. I don't remember who it was that said that, but it's one of the greats in a way. I don't like calling Senna a great. Don't like him. Never did. It's that's another thing altogether. I won't go into that right now. Ronaldo then manages not to invalidate on the second attempt, and he crosses the line. So 112.5, that puts him into P11, just behind his teammate, Chris, in the other McLaren. He's currently P10 and on an outlap. Vlungis, shout out to Vlungis, has started doing some highlights for the races, guys, after. So, did the first ones from last week's race, and I have to say it was absolutely exceptional job, so thank you, Vlungis, for that. Don't do them too quickly after the races, my Vlungis, because I'd actually want people to watch my, you know, stream back on Twitch rather than waiting for your highlights. So, you know, if you need some views, otherwise I'll have to stop doing it. Pit gang with the invalidation there. This is Bartas. I'm not sure I've seen Bartas before. Be interested to see how he gets on. Yellow flags go in, suggests there's a spinner. No, I think it was actually just a Haas getting out of the way, to be fair. I think we just went past him, he was on our left hand side, I didn't see him. There's a McLaren getting out of the way this time. They do go to extremes sometimes to get out of the way, don't they, going off track like that. It's, you know, once you try to the side of the track, ideally on the side where the racing line isn't, but as long as you're on the side of the track, you're generally alright. Don't move as people are approaching, because that's the worst thing you can do, is move just as somebody's coming up to you. Anyway, Bartas goes into P14 on a 1 minute 13.9. Chip Van invalidated the first one run on another lap here. We'll stick with him through to the end. Run the phone back a second. Massey goes fastest on a 110.5. No, not bad for mediums. Not that bad for mediums. Yep, indeed. 111.8. Yeah, did alright there, Bowden. I hate to tell you that Declan Madsen's time was also on mediums. 110.7. That's a monster lap on mediums. That's scary. Here comes Chip Van then to get his evening underway. 112.1 and P11. Very nice start from Chip Van. Ooh, Hunter's on an outlap. Here we go. Hilly hot lap with Hunter then. Across the line, DRS out, and we head down to turn 1. Late apex. You've got to take the speed through and into turn 2, where you've got to be getting a good exit. And I don't think he likes the start of that lap, and he's going to abort. So, he may have been listening to it. Sorry, Hunter, if you were listening, I put you off, but, you know, my fault. Find somebody else in a way. Just a heat gang, maybe? No, it's quite early on. Oh, Fadel's round. That's at the fast right-left chicane. Normally that's on the exit, well it is on the exit. Just got a bit of oversteer, maybe caught a bit too much inside curb. And that's giving him oversteer on the exit. And spinning around. That's usually the way there in a way. So I can't be 100% sure that's what happened. Monsters on an outlap. So yeah, I think spoke to him before the race. Let's do the hilly hot lap with Monsters then. Let's come round. But with Declan's current time at a 110.7 being on mediums, that's a scary lap, and it suggests that he's going to be in the very low 110s on softs, to be quite honest. I don't think the gap between soft, medium and hard is as high around Canada as it is at other tracks, probably because it's such a short lap, but still think it's enough that it should put him into the low 110s, and well, there you go, 110.2. He goes fastest by almost 3 tenths, 0.28. So then Monsters heads to the line to start the lap. So again, we're coming down to turn 1, late braking, take some inside curve, keep the car to the left as best you can to open up the entry into 2 under the Fanatec bridge, get on the power nicely, head down to the fast right, left, completely blind on entry. So you've got to trust your judgment, but you must get it right. It's worth so much time. Late braking left-hander now. You want to be taking some inside curve ideally there to open up the entrance into the, ironically, the exit, and to enable you to get on the power a bit easier, because it is low on traction around there. The quick right-left chicane now. Push it out to the wall without touching it. Nicely done from Monsters. Under the Rolex bridge and down to the hairpin. There is so many different ways you could take this hairpin, but for qualifying, the way Monsters just taken it is just about perfect. Open up the DRS down the back straight. As I say, this is going to be where you see most of the overtaking in the actual race, heading down to the final chicane. And again, you've got to just trust yourself, throw the car in. Good wide entry from Monsters, and that is important. That's how you don't invalidate there. And Monsters crosses the line to a 7/10 improvement. It sees him up to P13. So the 2 Red Bulls we spoke to before the race now 11 and 13 as it stands. Plenty of time left. And Bartos just finished the lap, so okay, we've also got Jake Griffiths who's on an out lap. He's coming around to start a lap. Obviously we've done the hilly hot lap, but Jake Griffiths, I don't appreciate that too much from his teammate, but I suppose he had to move over to go into the pits, so yeah, here's a driver we've not seen before, so that's where we're going to go with him, see what he can do. Right left, very close to invalidation there, Jake, but just about keeps it inside the lines. Bit of curve there, I do really want to be taking more than that. It's not the corner entry there is about the exit. It's about getting a good exit. It's so important. Usually you spend your laps trying to get close enough to the car in front of you that you come onto this straight, stay on their gearbox here as close as you can, open up DRS there, and then at some point between now and the corner, overtake. You ideally want to have the move done before you reach braking for the chicane. Almost impossible to go through there side by side, so anyway, Jake heads to the line, 114.6. Has him P19 at the moment, but a nice looking lap there from Jake to get his evening underway. Swiglet then, who 128.4 obviously hasn't got a clean lap on the board as yet. Oh God, that was very close to an invalidation on the entry there, but doesn't, and lives to fight on. This lap at least. He's in quite sharply. That should give him a sort of switchback sort of exit, so maybe a bit quicker down the straight, but would have lost a bit of time in the actual corner. Normally the sort of switchback exit, it's kind of like a slingshot, you can call it, on a hairpin. It's great for overtaking, but it's not the fastest way around a lap, so 112.1 from Twiglet though, nice improvement, and heads up to P12. That will be his last lap as well, unless he does a cooldown and has another go on those tyres. Fatal's just finished a lap and has improved to a 112.7. This is exceptionally close. I think Massey looks like he's warming his tyres up, so just about to start his attempt at pole. Declan is out again, by the way, he has come back out. Watch our current champion. See what sort of response he's got to Declan. He gains a bit of time in sector 1. I think he lost a bit of time in turn 1, but and he may have just lost a little bit of time exiting there. Just seemed to slide slightly. Really getting out of the way for him very nicely, has to be said. Staying off the racing line, moving to the side. It's 2 thousandths down in sector 2. The only thing is that they're all moving out of the way very nicely. I have to say, they really are. As Fatal gets disqualified from qualifying for parking in a dangerous location. Everybody moving out of the way very nicely from us. The only thing is, even when people move like that so nicely, it can just take your eye off the ball a little bit. But it's a great lap from Massey. 110.3, stays P2, but really gave it a good go for challenging Declan. Shout out to Hunter, who's putting an awesome lap. 110.9, as in P3. Ferrari's P3 and P4. Great for the constructors after a difficult opening week last week. Here is the man that looks set to be starting this race on pole position, but can he improve any further? He's slightly down through sector 2. Opens up the steering, gets a decent exit. Very smooth on the power input. Opens up the RS and heads down. You saw just how much curb you can take with Massey, so see if it's similar. Look at that, and the push out. That is how they do it in real life, guys. So here he comes to the line then. 110.0, what a lap. What a lap for a qualifying session, that is. Superb. Just as Massey thought he was pushing him to his limits, Declan just makes the gap almost a quarter of a second again. Superb, absolutely superb from both of them. Bowden has gone into P3. What a lap from Bowden. A young man from Bristol. Superb lap. Mighty. Belongus into the pits. And I think that's it. Yeah, Massey's going into the pits. So that is it then, guys. So it's pole position for Declan Marsden. Massey P2, but our 13-year-old from Bristol is, for me, the star man there. P3 on the grid. 110.7 around Canada. It's an exceptional lap. Whoopi P4, well, the Ferrari's in P4 and P5. Whoopi and Hunter. So Whoopi just nipped ahead of his teammate at the end there. But that's brilliant qualifying from the 2 Ferraris, and they look set to pick up some great points if they can carry that into the race. Junkie Emperor, superb P6. X11 and 7. Dagooner, a bit disappointing in P8, to be honest, after last week. Lycorius P9, Chip Van in 10. Volungus in P11. Coxie 12. Chris 13. Twigler in P14. Ronaldo, well done, Ronaldo. Seems to be coming back into some form. And is P15. Monsters in 16 in the other Red Bull then. Heat Gang in 17. Jake on debut in P18. Bartas on debut in P19. And Fatal, unfortunately, I'm not sure why. It said he was parked in a dangerous location. No idea where that may have been. I can only think the pit lane entry or exit, but usually says if you're blocking one of those on the disqualification notice, so I don't think it was that. There we go. There we go. Superb. That's an exceptional qualifying for Canada. Let's just go to instance. So there's quite a lot there, but it's all invalidated lap times. This is Canada. A lot of invalidations happen, so we should be expecting quite a few corner cutting penalties, you would imagine. Chris says rubbish quality for me. Just invalidated the first lap each time. It's Chris. It's so hard, Canada. It's a nightmare for invalidations, especially in quali when you're trying so hard to push, you know, and you're trying to push the boundaries a bit, and yeah, so you know, keep your head up, man, and for the race, and which looks dry as well, at least at the moment. Sky looks blue and clear, so maybe we got a dry racer once around Canada. That'd be nice. Okay, guys, so we do take a quick break in HRF1, so I'm just going to nip off, get a quick coffee. I'll be back shortly, so I'll speak to you in a moment. Right, with you guys, plenty of time by the looks of it, and we close to a go time. Have a quick look at the Discord, just make sure I haven't missed anything. And the time has come up, so we are ready to go. Anything interesting in the Discord? How is fuel burn around here, says Mr. Heat Gang. Top of my head, I think it's quite high. A bit too late anyway, because I'd only just seen it. Right, so off underway for the formation lap. Right, let's take a look then, shall we? How much variation in strategy do we have? Quite a bit. Okay, so Declan, following his strategy from last week and is starting on hard tyres. Massey, the opposite, going mediums. He's going to hope to get Declan into turn 1, you would imagine. Bowden then on the hards as well. Wants to get that stint done first. Whoopi, Hunter, Junkie Emperor all on mediums. X11 and Daguna get disqualified at the start and will be on cold tyres to start this race. X11's on the hards, Daguna on the mediums. Lycorius on mediums, Chip Van as well. Volungus on the hards. Softs for Coxey, so Coxey's going with an alternative strat. Maybe interesting, we shall see. Chris on the mediums, Twiglet, Ronaldo, Monsters, Heat Gang on hards, Jake Griffiths on mediums, and Bartas and Fatal Defiance on hards. We'll see what the race brings for all these guys. Just get the bits and pieces enabled. And we'll open it up. Hey, well, if it's the ones that you posted in Discord earlier on, put your socks on. That's all I can say. Here we go then. Lights coming on. 5 lights on. 5 lights out, and away we go. Massey seems to react better than Declan. In fact, Declan looks like he's going to get swamped here a little bit. As Massey takes the lead of the race, I think that's Bowden's still there fighting with Declan, I think. Oh, a little bit out of shape there, Declan. So they come in to the chicane. It's Declan P3. And it looks to me, I think that's Daguna in the Aston Martin up to P4 with Bowden down to 5. But remember the tyre strat is a big thing there. So here we go then. Yeah, Massey P1. It's Whoopi that's gone up into P2. Declan P3. Junkie it is actually, sorry, not Daguna in P4. Bowden 5. Hunter in 6. Lycorius is 7. It's 11-8 as we look to move on. Biggest gainer from the start, without doubt, is Mr. Heat Gang, up 9 places. I tell you what, 9 places for any track is incredible, but in Canada, that's like superhuman. And, well, look at that, not even 1 lap completed, and Declan Madsen picks up a 3-second penalty already. Could turn out to be very, very important in terms of this race. Oh, looks like Monsters has had a moment down at the chicane. Trying to get himself back in the right direction. Has he got any... Oh, good view. What view's that? Thank you. I think he's managed to do that without causing himself any damage, but he's a long way off at the back now. He's going to need a safety car, I'd imagine. As Chip Van is round. Some issues early on for some guys as Massey extends his lead out to 1.8 seconds. Whoopi P2 has got Declan after him. At the moment, of course, no DRS on this lap, but next lap there will be. And look back here, as you can see, Junkie not far behind, with Bowden just behind that and Hunter just behind that. And Lycorius as well, just behind that. So it's a nice sort of run of cars, but Massey without doubt will be trying his absolute best here. He's on the medium tyres. He's gonna want to take advantage while Declan is behind Whoopi. There's no doubt about that. But of course, Whoopi is no slouch himself. He's a very quick driver. So it's just, I know from experience that when you've got someone like Declan on the back of you, it is so difficult. It really sort of puts you off. There's a yellow flag there in sets of 1. I think it was Bartas, but I'm not sure. So I could be making that up. But whoever it was, they're back going in a way. No real loss. We have this time though Heat Gangs round. That's on the fast right left chicane. And that drops him down to P18. Back to Declan as he looks to use DRS to get past Whoopi. Heading into the chicane, but as I say, ideally you need that move done before you reach the chicane, but surely he's going to get another chance now down to turn 1. He's already absolutely drained his ERS. It's going to make it all the more difficult. Whoopi's on about 44%, so he's got about 30% more. Actually, Declan really trying early on to get back past Whoopi so that he can get after Massey and keep the gap down. But what's happening, of course, is as these guys battle for P2, Massey is disappearing in front and taking advantage of it, full advantage as you'd expect a champion to do. Once again then down into the hairpin. Ooh, a little touch on the right rear there of Whoopi. Whoopi a bit slow in the hairpin, but we've got, I think that's Mr. Heat Gang again. Same chicane as well. That drops him down to 19th. Here again. It's like Whoopi's natural straight line speed with the wings is causing Declan some problems in actually getting past, but he's gradually draining the ERS of Whoopi. But Whoopi doing a grand job at the moment. It's not easy to do this when you know you've got such a fast driver on the back of you. But look at the placement of the Ferrari there. He just puts himself in the middle of the track. No way you can go to the inside to overtake the Ferrari when it's in the middle of the track like that. He has to be on the outside and look to make a move on the straight, but not able to do it. And we go again down to the hairpin. He may get a chance at the hairpin here if he just got a bit out of sorts. Whoopi might be trying a little bit of a cut back to sort of get. Whoopi almost wants to give him DRS here, but he hasn't. Declan definitely closer this time than he's been before, but he's out of energy entirely. This time he is ahead going into the chicane, and that enables him to take the position. So now he will get after Massey, and Whoopi is vulnerable. So Bowden really nice racing. It looks like Whoopi just about has done enough there to fend off the Red Bull. Oh, picks up a 3 second. That looked like a harsh. It is around here though, isn't it? It is around Canada. It's so annoying around here because you have it on strict corner cutting around here, and it's like that where it gives it really easy, you know, really easy warnings. But if you turn it down a notch to medium, then you know, people can just jump, pretty much jump corners. So you know, it goes way too far the other way. and is quite going to get a run here. Twiglet 3 seconds. I'm not going to call out all the penalties as they come up because ultimately there's going to be a lot as we go on deeper into this race, guys. So not many most tracks when we get to sort of 2 or 3 laps from the end, I do tend to bring the penalties up, but actually Canada I kind of like not to and have it as a bit of a surprise over the line. It can ruin battles. If you start looking at the penalties, it can start ruining the battles that you're watching because you know somebody's got 12 seconds or something, you know. So let it be what it is instead. So nice little 5-car battle going on here. Whoopi P3. Since Declan's got past, he's left Whoopi 2.5 seconds behind. Obviously Whoopi did end up having a bit of a battle with Bowden when it wouldn't have helped. But gap for Massey at the moment is 4.7 seconds. Declan does look like he's maybe just eating into that a little bit, but remember he's got that penalty, so very important come the end. But Massey certainly started this race perfectly, really. Can't complain at all. Started on mediums to Declan's hards. The idea of that is to get ahead of him in turn 1. He did. Declan bogged down a bit at the start. Actually fell down to 5th at one point. So, oh, we've got a retirement, and it's a Red Bull, and it's Monsters, and that's going to be a safety car. So he's on the exit here. Just be a bit careful. He is on the left-hand side, so they should be okay. But yeah, that is a totaled car. Smashed into the wall. There'll be a bit of disappointment there for Bowden as he comes around and sees his teammate's car absolutely destroyed. We all hope and pray that Monsters is okay. Gets out the car. Hopefully he'll give us a wave as he goes to the medical car, into the medical centre. There he is, there's the little wave. Lost the rear end from Monsters. We know he's okay. Unlucky Monsters. We're just glad you're okay after that one, mate. That looked pretty nasty. Oh dear. Box! Says James. Yeah. Anybody who started on medium tyres is going in for hards. Or, of course, our soft tyre started. It was Coxey, wasn't it? So we'll definitely be in. Let's go to the tyres a moment then. Have a quick look. Yeah, massive advantage now in a Massey, isn't it? You've got to think. Comes out P3 after stopping on the tyres that are potentially going to take him to the end of this race, barring any more safety cars. It's a long stint, mind, isn't it? They'll do it, don't get me wrong. Hards will make it to the end from here, but it is a long stint, so it has a sort of feeling of last week about it, where Declan went so long on the hards, extended a lead out, went so long on the hards, and then pitted to softs and came back to win the race. It's going to take a little while, this safety car. I think it might go to full 4 laps that it is allocated, so again, as you can see, it's just down at the right and left, but not sure what Heatgang's going to do, whether he is going to stay on those tyres or switch. I don't think a set of mediums will get to the end from here. I think that's too much to ask, so maybe a case of staying on the hards he's on. We may not go to full 4 laps. Heatgang is making up time to the back of the safety car really quickly, so three guys in front of him, so Volungus, Jake, Griffiths and Chip Van are just catching the back of the safety car. Chip Van. So might be in this lap. I'm not sure. Could be quite a late call as they come down the straight because the safety car is onto the straight just. I have to say, if I was Heat Gang, I wouldn't be presuming he wants to get to the end on those tyres. Obviously, it would have been ideal for him to keep the safety car out another lap, but it's not. It is coming in this lap, so Madsen gets us away from the safety car. Doesn't look like anybody's got a run on anyone. Let's see, maybe one there. It's an Alfa Romeo X11 having a look to the inside of Ronaldo. And he does indeed get through. So up to P9. Nicely on the restart from Ronaldo, from X11. And a couple of things going on further down. Bottas getting past Jake Griffiths. Looks like a bit of a battle here between Jake and Volungus, is it? I think. Oh, very close down here at the back. It's very... Oh, there. There was definitely a contact there, and I think Bottas just ended up round. I'm not sure, but I think it was Volungus that hit the back of him. I do apologise, Volungus, if I've gotten that wrong and accused you wrongly, but I think it was. As X11 makes a move on Fatal Defiance at the hairpin, and Massey getting past Bowden on the straight and into P2. Which is obviously very important. He needs to stop what happened last week with Madsen being able to disappear at the front. That is paramount importance here for Massey, that he's able to stop that from happening. Doesn't have to catch him, he just needs to stop him being able to get away so far. That's the thing, but he did just catch a whole bunch of time there. In a way, have we got any battles looking through the field? Plenty of stuff going on. It could go almost anywhere. Look at you two in the chat. Get a room, you two. Oh, we've got a yellow flag. That looks like a Haas. I think it's Heat Gang. And he drops down to the back. I couldn't see any obvious signs of damage at first glance. Yep, still got both end plates, so hopefully he's alright, although he's struggling a bit. That could be the tyres might be a bit heated up. Well, Massey has made short work of getting back within the second of Madsen. I feel for Madsen to win this race from here, he's going to need a safety car to come to his rescue at some point. It's a long way to go. See, lots of people close together, lots of battles going on. Trying to find you the actual ones that may be an overtake. It's quite difficult, but I think we might have one a bit further down, guys. So just the Volungus on the back of Chip Van. So I think, did DRS activate this lap? I think it did. So yellow set to 2, that's Heat Gang. I wonder if Heat Gang's picked up some rear wing damage or something. He does seem to be having a bit of trouble with spinning, which is unlike him, so I just wonder if he's picked up a bit of damage on the rear wing. And that is Volungus getting Through with the DRS overtake on Chip Van down to the final corner and up into P14 then for Volungus. Alfa Romeo currently running P7 and P14 as Lycorius makes a move on Hunter. And almost got it done, but Hunter does about hold off. Did really well actually not to make contact through that chicane, the pair of them. And Mr. Hit Gang is retiring from the session in the pits. As I say, I've got a feeling he may have had some rear wing damage or something, because he was having a real hard time not spinning. As I say, that's not like him, so I suspect that's the case. Anyway, onto the straight here for Hunter as he looks to get past Fatal Defiance, but Fatal seems to get a really strong exit. And Hunter just nowhere near close enough to make an overtake. Oh, he's overshooting it. Chicane a little bit. Is that going to leave him vulnerable behind? And got another yellow flag, sector 3. It's the final corner. I think it was Coxey. He's the one that seems to have lost position, so I think it is. But he is back going again. Let's see. It's difficult this because Hunter, he needs to get past. Fatal is never an easy driver to get past. He's an experienced driver, knows where to put the car. He's always going to be difficult to get past, but at the same time, Hunter potentially is going to the end of this race, and it's really important for him to get past the driver on 8-lap older tyres. Oh, and that's Lycorius going very deep into the corner. Surely going to leave himself open to Volungus. Well, he's actually ended up getting a slingshot. Look at this. Look at the straight line speed of Lycorius. Say, I think he got a sort of slingshot effect going on there to have that sort of speed. Wow, he's gone seriously low on front. Well, he might be low on wing, you know. Look at this quickly. He's picking up speed here. It's Lycorius. Didn't quite get the move done. Looked for all the world like he was going to get that done, but seems to have backed out of it a bit. He's got to back out of that. He's never near alongside, and he does. Ah, they make a contact. Ah, there. Oh dear. You know what that's going to lead to, don't we? It happens on stream, and there is only one driver to blame for that, and that is the driver behind, who's braked too late for the corner and hit the car in front. So, chance here for Lungus as Chris is into the pits, 15 laps on the mediums, and through goes Volungus, aggressive into the chicane. Sometimes with a track like Canada, you kind of got to be a bit. And Chip Van through Hunter as well. Hunter looks really vulnerable on the straights. I think he's maybe gone in with too high a downforce setup and suffering on the straights. Fatal. I don't know what's going on here with Fatal. I think he's just annoyed and he's going to end up retiring in the pits, I think. But he's lost his wing, hasn't he? Okay, surely the only way he's actually lost his wing on that incident would have surely have been if another car crashed into him. I didn't see anyone, but he must have done, I guess, unless he's had another moment after. And he sped into the pit lane, which is a sure sign that he is retiring from the race. So comes our third retirement after Monsters and Heat Gang. And I do feel for Fadel on that one. That was not his fault whatsoever. So look at this. Massey is ahead of Declan. So Declan will be pitting. Presumably at some point to mediums, unless he looks to extend the stint. I don't know what you mean, Whale. I don't know what you mean. Then. Yeah, I mean, ultimately, obviously he's had a dream start to his HRF1 career last week, but I think this week it may be a case of seriously unlucky on the safety car and when it came out, and a bit of damage limitation now. Up as many points as he can. I just don't know. I think I've got a feeling we might see him do the same as last week and go deep on the hards. Whether it be a case of going deep on the hards to the softs and then looking to pick up the extra point and make up as many places as he can, but the extra point for fastest lap, of course. And picks up 3 seconds. Sorry, I didn't mean to come off of that then. Stick with this, I think. So, Swippy on X11. Both enjoying strong races so far. Both have made a pit stop, but X11 on mediums, so we'll have to pit again. Yeah, Fayolan. Sorry about that one, man. I mean, I was on board with the Lycorius it was who was behind you. Yeah, he's missed his brake and unfortunately and hit the back of you. You had some great moments with others, so don't sort of say the whole league. It's not the whole league, it's just a mistake by one driver, that's all. Quite the opposite. The driving standards in this league are absolutely exceptional. So Nardo picks latest to pick up another penalty. That's Canada for you. Penalties all around. You've got to report it, Faith, so I'm admin, so you've got to report it for admin to do anything about it. So, Bowden is into the pits for his stop. He's very much in the same position as Declan. He's had an absolutely superb evening. There's Bowden, and I do hope that the young man can fight his way back through a little bit. It's a bit of a shame that he's not in line for my driver today because he's got a penalty, but he's certainly, if it was penalty free, he'd be right up there fighting for that. Maybe might have a shot at the driver's one. It'd probably depend a little bit on how well he can fight back through and how minimal he can keep his penalties, maybe. Come back down. It's next one here actually, Chris and Lycorius. Whoopee, no typing or chat while driving, please. Back to it. X11, 5 second penalty, was that? Oh, he's into the pits, he's sped into the pits. Oops. I'm assuming he has to go from one set of mediums to another. And it is a really quick stop around Canada, isn't it? So he's going to come out. Oh, he nips there back up ahead of a few people. I think he's got out ahead of Bowden, you know. But of course, he's got to get his tyres up to temperature, which won't be easy. Bowden's going to want to get this done. I think the young man does. Brilliant bit of driving from both drivers. X11 fully aware of the fact that his tyres were cold coming out of the pits and tried to battle as best he could, but ultimately he had to give way really to Bowden. Lovely bit of driving from the pair of them. Jake picks up a penalty. So, Swigler into the pits. I will say, guys, if you're going to have some sort of argument, can you not do it on my stream? Don't do it in the Discord. DM each other in the Discord or something. Don't do it on my stream. Not interested in it, Frank. So, Chris here, still on the back of Lycorius. Hasn't been able to find a way past just yet. Bowden gets ahead of Chip Van, and that's into P6. Really fast and furious this race at the moment. It's happening all over the track. Close enough on this occasion. I want to get back up here because Chip Van under attack again, this time from X11. He's quite clearly Bowden and X11 are going to be flying through this field as best they can, and Bowden has already caught the back of Lungis. It just makes you wonder what Declan's going to do. I think he's just got to be a bit careful. What's he got? He's got about 20... just over 20 seconds to Volungis, so I think Declan is trying to go long on the hard so that he can go to softs, exactly the same as he did last week. But in doing that, he may be inviting Bowden and X11 potentially into the pit window. So it is quite a quick pit stop around here. Bowden does a little bit of a switchback, and he's going to get a great run here on Volungis. And that is a textbook move from the 13-year-old. And that's brilliant. Up into P5. As Lycorius is into the pits. On 15 lap old hards, he's taking a pit stop, so that's a surprise. No damage, so Volungis mines out the way for his teammate there. And that is why, that is why I took these guys for a shot at the constructors, because they will work together like that, proper teammates. So Bowden, of course, having gotten past X11, next up the road is Junkie Emperor. He's going to want to get that gap down as quick as possible. It is important to 12. Yeah, I mean, at the moment, if he gets onto the back of Junkie before Declan pits, then he gets past Declan when he does pit. I think that's kind of the you know, that's kind of what he's got to do now. And his Felungus Pits, it's going to drop him down quite a bit. But, yeah, I think he just loses out there to Twiglet, but I think he's... Yeah, he won't lose anymore. So actually, P12 onto 5-lap old mediums. I thought, well, could have gone soft, surely. Gunnar has a look at Hunter. Oh! Well, I didn't see anything wrong. Yes, they made a bit of contact, but I didn't see anything wrong as such. But that is brought out as... What? Right, I mean, seriously, what is this safety car even for? Nobody's retired. What is this safety car for? This is absolutely save Declan. Completely save Declan. Massey's pitted to mediums, perhaps doesn't have softs available. What is this safety car even for? It's unreduced, and it's still brought out this safety car. I've got absolutely no idea. Declan is attempting hard soft. Apparently it's doable. Yeah, I think that is what he was attempting, and this safety car's come right as he would have pitted, and he's held on to P2 because of it. And yeah, X11's decided to take track position. Can't say I blame him. Why not? Yeah. Well, I mean, this is exactly, if you're a driver, sort of midfield driver, and you've managed to stay penalty free around Canada, this is just an absolute dream for you. Safety car at this point of the race, because this is where you go, oh, ka-ching. I can make up this many places just because I stay penalty free. It's awesome. Oh, did you, Jane? Okay, so somebody lost their wing. Yeah, but on reduced, it usually takes a bit more than just somebody losing a wing. Yeah, oh well. And it's a bit of a shame because that is just handed Declan P2. And quite frankly, because Massey presumably didn't have any softs to go to, so he's gone to mediums. It's not outside the realms of possibility that Madsen could win this. It may depend a little bit on just how many laps he gets. But I think Massey is a clear favourite, but if Declan was to literally blast past him on the restart, then he's got a chance, I think. But I don't think we're going to be racing again until lap 30, I wouldn't have thought. Coxey is pitted, so... Serving a penalty? No, just a tyre change. He started on softs, so he's just gone to a set of softs, then gone to a set of softs again. I wouldn't be surprised if if the game is telling him that he's got new softs to go to when he hasn't. It's happened to me before. And I pitted twice and it gave me old softs both times. But, yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if it's doing that to him and that's why he's taking an extra stop. But that probably does... Well, not probably, it definitely means the safety car's not in this lap. Following lap is a possibility. Take a moment to have a drink. Right, so I don't particularly want to look at penalties on Canada. it's kind of fun just to see. Say it can ruin battles in the run-in, and as I say, it can be quite fun just seeing how far people drop over the line when they when they finish. So all we know at the moment is that Massey is without doubt favourite to win the race. Whoopi's in a great chance for a podium, almost guaranteed as long as he does stay penalty free. For me, I don't award driver of the day to people with penalties, but I have to say that Bowden has been absolutely superb today. As race control safety car in this lap, and that means we resume lap 30, 6 laps remain, and Massey has to hold Declan off for as many of those as he can, basically. So I'm not going to look at the penalties. I will say that I'm 90% sure Declan's penalty is only 3 seconds. He picked up on the first lap. I haven't seen him pick up anything else since. So Hunter gets one on the restart. Never good. So down, we got a pitter. Ronaldo is into the pits. Is that an actual stop? Yeah, it is a stop. I mean, you could literally go on anybody and have a battle right now. Restart. Got a little pattern going on of medium soft, medium soft, medium soft, medium soft, medium soft, medium soft, and then Junkie Emperor ruins it because he's on softs after the softs. So yeah. Oh, little touch on the wall there from Chris. Gonna drop him a bit of time. Didn't look like it was hard enough to cause him any actual damage. Does run wide there, and surely we've seen Lycorius' straight line speed. Ooh. Yeah, we've seen it, and it's not good, not as good as Chris's, of course, but Lycorius currently stuck behind the only driver that he's not faster in a straight line than. That's the sets fastest lap on the restart. To be fair, said it wrong. The gap between soft and medium and then medium and hard is really not that much around here. Oh no, we've lost someone. That's Jake. Has he done that in the pits? Or yeah, I think he has actually. I think Jake's retired in the pits. That's a shame, Jake. Would have been nice to see you finish your first race. It's retirement in the pits from Jake. Yeah, guys continue battling, I think, to the end by the looks of it. DRS is once again enabled. Fair play to Massey, Whoopi, and Lycorius at this stage, the only 3 drivers that remain penalty free. And therefore, of course, the only 3 drivers that's essentially renamed my driver to date. I have to say that would be a very difficult choice between all of them. I think I'll probably roll out Lycorius, but that's not no slight on him. I just think the other races have been a bit more impressive today. I think that the safety cars have had a big effect on the race. Both of them. The first one obviously had a massive effect in allowing the medium and the soft starter to pits as Bowden makes the move on Whoopi and is up into P4 on track. Shame about the I really want to give him driver of the day. I know he's got a penalty, but I can't break. I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to vote one of the penalty-free ones my own driver of the day, because that follows my rules, but I am definitely voting for Bowden for the driver of the day in the Discord, because he has been absolutely immense today. Qualified P3, so he is down one place in the race, but that's no fault of his own. He was flying. Oh, we've lost someone. Twiglet is out on the left there. Now, normally that would cause a safety car, but I think we're too late. Yeah, we're on lap 33, so we cannot have a safety car now. So... Bowden picks up DRS. So we don't know the penalties. This could be a genuine battle for position. They've both got penalties. And presumably, well, not presumably, as it stands right now, they will both drop off the podium in a way for Whoopi to jump up, as he is penalty free. It's up 3 seconds. Not following on from a superb result he had last week. Oh, Chris is dropping down. He must have had some sort of spin on the exit of the hairpin. Maybe a half spin or something, but it's lost him a couple of positions. Back to our leaders. Well, not the leaders, sorry, but the guys just after. Chris picks up another late penalty as well. They're flying. There's another one. They're absolutely loads of them popping up, one after the other. And here comes Bowden. Here comes Bowden. Lee's in room. X11 Lee's in room. Oh, hang on, what happened there? Oh, I got a massive lag on my screen. I didn't see the overtake properly, but he is ahead. Bowden has made the move into the chicane. What a shame. What a time to get some lag. But Bowden we'll find out at the end if that actually was for a position. But here comes Massey, who is my driver of the day. Comes driver of the day, winning the Canadian Grand Prix. Declan P2. Bowden will cross the line P3. X11 jumps him, and so does Whoopi. Oh, dearie me. So, what's happened there? Lycorius is up to 4th. Provisionally. So, did hit the back of Fatal, causing Fatal to spin, so potentially could end up with a penalty, but that's why results are provisional until stewards have dealt with any tickets, of course. Anyway, as it stands, so Whoopi on the podium, then P3, Lycorius 4, X11 5, Bowden in 6. Every fibre in my being wants to give Bowden driver of the day today, but I've got to stick to my rules of it only being given to a driver who is penalty free. And my choice on that is Massey. So here they come onto the podium. That's interesting. So Massey does get one over on Declan this week, and Declan was extremely unlucky with the timing of the first safety car, as were all the other drivers that started on hards. But very lucky with the second safety car, so it swings and roundabouts. The way it was going, it looked like he was going to drop down just off of the podium when he pitted, but obviously he'd have been going to softs and looking to fight his way back, and no doubt he'd have got back onto the podium, but it's just whether he'd have got into P2 or not, we don't know. We shall never know. But Massey takes victory from second on the grid with fastest lap as well. Declan P2, Whoopi, I can't remember where I was down to. Right, Bowden P6, Valunga 7, Chip Van 8, Hunter in 9, Junkie 10, Daguna 11, Chris 12, Bartas on debut P13, well done Bartas. Coxey P14, Ronaldo in 15 was not our first retirement, was he? No. Twiglet was our first retirement. He is classified, so I don't know if he'd be classified for the points for the league, but we did lose Jake Griffiths, Fatal Defiance, Mr. Heat Gang, and Monsters. Incidents, let me just scroll through them quickly so that the stewards have got them. Oh, goodness me, I'm not going to get through them, there is a lot. And that is because Canada, the vast majority of that is just warnings for corner cutting. Because it's Canada. Right, guys, if you're top 3, please don't leave the lobby. Let me invite you in first before you go anywhere. Declan Madsen. Where is he? Massey. Where are you, Massey? Ugh. Ooh, just went weird. There's Massey down there. Here's Declan. Invite Massey and Whoopi. There we go. And yeah, you can. So, guys, you should be able to include your audio. We're just waiting for Whoopi at the moment. Come on, Whoopi. Right, Massey and Mads, can you both hear me all right?
Yep. Yeah, I can hear you.
Yep, excellent, cool. Right, so I would be speaking to Whoopi first. I don't know why he's not joined as of yet. Maybe a bit of shank going on Discord, I'm not too sure. But obviously he's an admin, so he might be dealing with someone else. But either that or it's a long race, so maybe he's just nipped off to the toilet or something, I don't know. But anyway, Declan, I'll come to you first then. So, congratulations on P2. It looked, I have to say, after that first safety car, that was a nightmare timing for the hard starters. It looked like it could have been all over for you at that moment, to be honest with you, but you stuck with it, went long again, and ultimately that paid off with the second safety car. No idea what caused the second safety car, by the way, but there you go. Talk us through your race, man.
Back marker. Back marker we flew past, that's what caused the second safety car.
All right.
My race was pretty much, I knew my strategy from the beginning, from quali, was hard soft, which I knew nobody would be going for. And then turns out mediums were faster, so didn't catch Massey in the end, but it was a nice P2, still leading the championship, so, but would have been nice to win here. I had the pace. I mean, y'all saw that in quali, so,
Yeah.
but didn't win, so, can't do what you can't do, so.
No, I mean, shout out for the quality. You, well, both of you, Massey, and I have to say Bowden as well. Absolutely superb quality performance from all three of you. First lap, not such a good performance though, Declan, was it?
No, it was not. First lap, I was not in my groove right then. First lap, I was fighting the car for stuff, and then I went for a move and got that penalty. So
3-second penalty inside the lap. That was a good one. That was fun. But no, fair play to you. You stuck with your guns. These things happen. Obviously, as say, all the hard starters were unlucky. With the first safety car.
Right.
You went long, which it always gives that opportunity that another one can happen, and it did. So, you stuck with your guns.
Trying to pull
So
Trying to pull what I did in Australia, but it just didn't seem to work out with that last safety car. So
yeah, so yeah, yeah, and fair play, as you say, you picked up the 3 seconds on the first lap, but you managed to keep it to that. It can eat, but once you got one, it can be easy then to sort of rack up 2, 3, 4 of them, especially around
yeah.
Canada. So you did well on that. Whoopi, have you included your audio?
I have.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hello, Mr. Whoopi. Well, is desperate for me to talk to you. So, um, congratulations, mate. You've picked up P3. It was on penalties at the end. But to be fair, being penalty free at Canada is a bit of a skill in itself. So well done, mate. Just talk us through your race.
Well, at the start, all I did really was my aim was to get ahead of. I can't remember who was in P3. I think it might have been Bowden. I can't remember.
Yeah, it
But
was. Yeah.
I just tried to aim and try to get ahead of him. I ended up jumping Declan as well, so I kind of just obviously that didn't help my situation because I did end up fighting him and I did lose time to Bowden behind and Junkie. But
Yeah.
other than that, I just tried to stay penalty free, which I did, and I just drove from there. And it was quite a boring race for me. I didn't really have much fights at all until like the last 10 laps with like X11, and that was really it. Wasn't much.
Fair enough. Yeah. But yeah, and then of course the second safety car occurs, and when that's the moment, I think if you're penalty free, you think, oh, that is awesome, because you know that this,
Yeah.
the gaps aren't going to grow too much. So, yeah, that obviously hurt. That obviously helped you at the end there. But yeah, hats off to Bowden, by the way. He was absolutely superb tonight, I have to say.
Yeah, he
Was
drove well.
brilliant. So yeah, I was going to give him driver of the day, but because I've got to stick by my rule of if he's got a penalty, I can't give him driver of the day for the comms. But you might get it in the Discord. We'll see. I think he deserves it. But yeah, I'm going to vote for him anyway. Yeah, okay, on to you then, Massey. Second on the grid, race win, fastest lap for the extra point as well. Couldn't have ended up any better, really.
Yeah, I just got into a groove. Just felt. I normally have quite bad luck at Canada. Yeah, the mediums felt brilliant. The hards felt terrible. So when I went onto the mediums at the end, it felt brilliant again. Yeah, it was, I think, by far one of my best races I've had in this league. Yeah, so I don't know what to say. It was just a perfect race for me. And so I will big myself up when I get the chance. And it was definitely one of my best performances. Just hopefully I can do that again.
Yeah, sometimes when you end up at the front and you lead a race, you've done a lot of streaming yourself, so you tend, when you gap, you then don't get seen very much on the streams, so we don't necessarily realise just how good a race you've had, but you did drive exceptionally well, and there must have been a little bit of you at the end when that bloody safety car came out thinking, oh, for God's sake, why? Why? Declan's going to end up like 18 seconds behind or something. So yeah, you can't have been best pleased at that.
No, the timing was. Yeah, I mean, I've been unlucky with safety cars the last couple of weeks in a few different leagues, and I was like, here we go again, brilliant. But yeah, I don't know what it was with the mediums around Canada. They just felt really good. I was surprised Madsen dropped off. Yeah, the mediums just felt like the best tyre to be on.
Yeah, and it seemed to show that as well. You immediately did set fastest lap again, and that stuck as well. And yeah, for some reason Madsen just couldn't sort of get you with the softs. But yeah, I bear that in mind next time I'm there. So yeah, forget softs around Canada. Yeah, fair play, man. Well, great win, great race for all three of you. I have, as say, my thing for driver of the day for comms side of it. You have to be penalty free, so I have gone with you, Massey.
Thank you.
So congratulations on that. You don't win anything for it. It's just my admiration, basically. But who could ask for anything more? Yeah. I'll be voting for Bowden in the Discord though. So yeah, there we go. In a way, as always, guys, I've really enjoyed today. The race earlier on was pretty good as well, so it's been a great night for comms for myself. We'll be back next week. And Whoopi, what track is it next week? Do you know? Top of your head?
I think it is. Yeah, Monza.
Ooh, Monza. The track everybody used to love and now hates because it's always a wreck fest on this game.
Yeah.
Let's hope it's not that next week. I hope we've got a server of good enough drivers that's hopefully that won't happen. Jake Griffiths has left the server, by the way. Yeah.
Already?
Yeah. Yeah. So. Yeah. What do you guys like Monza generally?
No.
No.
I don't.
No. Is
Not
that
at all.
because of the way the races go, or is it because you actually just don't like the track?
Just don't
It's
like the track.
It's just impossible on controller.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
really?
horrible.
Quick. I just can't be quick on it. I struggle.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay. All right then, guys. Well, we'll be back for Monza next week to see how these two get on, along with everybody else, and enjoy what is left of your weekends. Thanks to everybody that's watched live with me and kept me entertained, and everybody who watches the stream back. Loads of you do now, and I really appreciate it. So thank you very much. We'll be back same time next week. For myself, I will be back tomorrow for GR Out. So. Division 6, so come and say hi for that one, and see you then. Good night, God bless, see you soon.